that James Charles is the victim in every single shit you...
I didn't want to respond to this because I didn't want to give Trisha the attention that she's clearly craving. However, I've never...
Okay, Trisha Paytas called out James Charles on her new podcast. All right, she had a whole segment, over 10 minutes, talking about James Charles' newest drama with Evan Johnson and Kayla Malik. So if you guys don't know these characters, finally, Trisha's talking about it. This is something that I have been talking about on my Tiki-Talkie. I think I already made one YouTube video about it. Now more people are talking about it. It's coming to the surface. So what happened was, here we go. James Charles filmed some videos with this TikToker named Kayla, right? She was like a young girl. She likes makeup. She had a lot of huge collabs and brand deals at Hot Topic and things like that. I think she's even been on the Trisha Paytas podcast. So she's like a friend to the show over there. Well, here's the whole thing, right? She had a boyfriend that was, doing some DV. So very triggering topic. So be careful with what I'm about to say. With that being said, she now has come out and said, this is what happened with this guy. He did get arrested. AOL News posted it online. And there's now she's talking and advocating about it. And she's already dropped an hour-long video on YouTube, then another hour-long video on YouTube talking about the whole situation, right? Well, then it takes a turn because James Charles allegedly, and I'll say why that's alleged in a minute, was flown out the guy who's 20 years old. When age doesn't really matter. I mean, he's of age. Flown out the guy to help him with his cancellation. And Kayla's kind of feeling like, why is James Charles, my friend, flying out my ex-boyfriend who beat me up? Why are y'all hanging out? Right? So that was the rumors on the street. Well, then Kayla's friend came out and said it was true. And then Evan Johnson's friend came out and said it was true. James Charles has not said anything at all. There's rumors that Evan Johnson's clout chasing and it's all lies and stuff like that for views and clicks. And that's how James Charles got into this whole situation. And I think that's kind of muddying the waters because the main part of that is about DV and Kayla. But then now because James Charles involved, everyone's like, oh, James Charles flying out another boy and stuff like that, right? Which I already made that video on my YouTube, so check it out if you haven't already. Well, then Trisha makes this long podcast talking about it. And I just kind of felt like, can I just be honest with you, watching the Trisha Paytas podcast, it felt like, it just felt like they weren't prepared to talk about such a serious topic, right? And it also felt like Trisha let Oscar do majority of the talking, which I'll play the clip for you. And I just, if it was me, because, I'm not scared to get canceled. I'm not scared to get dragged to the mud. Been there, done that. So I would just be like, this is my views and opinions about it, and this is what I think, right? And I think with Trisha Paytas and Oscar, I think that the podcast has shifted recently because they know that if they say something, they could, get a lot of backlash because they get a lot of views. But, that's why people watch, right? And I think that Trisha and Oscar are being way too, politically correct, in the middle, as opposed to having someone who says, I think James Charles is a fake snake flying out 21-year-old kids and blah, he shouldn't be doing that. Even though that's just their opinion, doesn't make it true or not. Or that, it's not so much of a drama because the people are of age, right? But someone can still argue, I don't think that's right, you know what I'm saying? And you don't really get that, strong opinion on the Trisha Paytas show. Because as you've seen previously, Trisha Paytas was so quick to backtrack and be like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of takes away of watching Trisha really say how she feels. And I think this is something that I've been noticing. Fans have been noticing it. And I just wish that Trisha and Oscar weren't so trying to be by the book, politically correct. And just give your opinion and be like, I don't like this person, and that's my opinion. I think this person's a fake snake. That's my opinion. I don't know why they're trying to be all politically correct, right? Maybe because there's tours and there's money involved. And I think maybe right now, because there's so much on stake with sponsorships and things like that, maybe Trisha doesn't want to give such strong opinions, That's my opinion about that. I just want to put that out there. So anyways, let me roll you the clip. And you can see in this clip that yes, it's a very serious topic, but they just seem like they don't want to walk on eggshells. It seems like they are walking on eggshells with the whole James Charles situation, because they could have easily said you know what, this is how I feel about it, but it just seemed very slow paced and Yeah, and Trisha was just sitting about it. Yeah. Oh wow, it's such a serious topic. Like, I just wish she was more tapped into it. Because Trisha's just like, well, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about it. Like, girl, get tapped in. Let's go.
I've been dreading this one.
The final one.
The final one.
I don't know too much about this. You were filling me in a little bit.
Yes,
but I don't
I've been
know.
trying to investigate. Although, I mean, it still only has been like 2 days since I found out about this. So I will do my best because there is so much information out there. But I'll start at towards the beginning. So we'll start with breaking down Evan Johnson and Kayla Malik. So Kayla Malik, friend of the show. She's been on Just Trish.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. One of our early interviews, right?
Really sweet. She was like 18 when she came on the show.
Yeah.
She was really sweet.
She's a beauty TikToker. She's done a lot of collaborations with all the heavy hitters, everyone from Michaela to James Charles himself.
She has a Spencer's collab.
Yes,
with piercings.
Spencer's collab. So she came forward to speak out about her, also heavy trigger warning for DV, obviously. But she came forward to speak out about her experience with her ex-boyfriend, who's also an influencer, used loosely, Evan Johnson. She spoke out about months and months of abuse that she claims she went through with him. He was arrested, but he was later released on bail. He was arrested for a domestic violence charge. Domestic assault in violation of his probation on April 7th. He was released that same day because he posted bail. And Kayla has been very public about everything that she went through. She's shown a lot of intense evidence. So even though it's obviously alleged, it is her claim, she has a lot of context, video and photo evidence that all support her claims about Evan being violent towards her. She has a 2-part YouTube video. Each part is like over 2 hours if anyone is more curious and wants to support Kayla. And obviously she's been open up about it on her TikTok as well. But one of the quotes I thought was powerful was, "I was silently being abused while posting my life online, smiling. It's true, you can see it in the eyes. I watch my old videos and see someone I never want to see again. It drained my soul and ripped apart the strong nature of myself I've had my entire life. I can't put into words the and what it did to me." And she said that she used to ask herself, why me, every day as she was going through it. But she said that this happened to me to save others, which I thought was also very powerful too. She said, if I saw this video 9 months ago, it would have saved my life. I was put through this so I can save you, which kind of makes me want to cry just reading it.
Yeah.
Because it is true. Like, I think she saved a lot of people, not only from Evan himself, but also just anyone who was going through something similar.
Yeah, she always repeats this line of like, you know, she thought he loved her and like that's not love. Like that's not what love is.
Yeah, and the claims that she said that he did are so intense. Borderline, she thought that she honestly could have died because of this alleged. So it was very, very extreme. And it was a pattern of behavior over 9 months. It's not just like a one-time thing. It's something that she endured over and over again. According to her. So this happened earlier in April is when Kayla came out about this. But honestly, this is like not tea. It's not drama. It's not entertainment. And I don't even want to like devolve it into that. But this whole saga took a new life of its own, as we learned the other day when James Charles somehow got involved in all this because claims were made by people close to Evan and people close to Kayla that James, even after this breakup, after Kayla allegedly told James why they broke up, because James and Kayla had collabed before, they had a kind of friendship. Kayla opened up to him allegedly about her relationship with Evan and why they broke up and her experience with him. But in February, it's alleged that James like housed Evan in LA, like flew him out to LA, housed him, and also gave him advice on how to get through this quote unquote cancellation that he was getting from Kayla's fans after the breakup. So timeline wise, yes, this happened in February. This was Kayla's videos came out in April. So there is obviously like that time gap of a couple months. But it is being alleged that Kayla opened up to James about her experience with Evan. So this kind of happening, obviously, with that knowledge, like James still like trying to look out for Evan. Not a good look. Also, Evan is 20 years old, so again, it kind of reminds people of, you know, the younger boy discourse as well. So when I first heard about this stuff, I honestly thought it was so mind-boggling that I'm like, why would James Charles do this? It seems like so fantastical and like so over the top that it just didn't sound real. But the claims were made by this TikToker, Zach Sellers, and he was friends with Evan, and he said that he came forward with like some receipts and stuff from February when he was still friends with Evan, and said that, you know, he was like manipulated and gaslit by Evan. But then once Kayla posted his video, he realized that, you know, Kayla was the victim in this situation, and he came forward to kind of like expose some receipts. So that's why I was kind of hoping for the same thing from James. Like, look, maybe Evan was telling him some kind of tale and really spinning it, and could also be like a victim of manipulation too. But James hasn't come forward with a response about any of the allegations about his relationship with Evan.
Yeah, and I feel like now it's like getting bigger. So
yes,
it's like, at first I was like, well, maybe he doesn't know about it, but now it's like kind of you can't not know about it.
Yeah, it is everywhere. It's even in his comment section too.
Is he like deleting, blocking, anything like that? Or are they just there still?
There have been some people have claimed that comments have been getting deleted or words are being blocked or whatever, but there are still some up that are like alluding to the saga, like everything going on with like, without saying some certain words.
So are they? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you have his name? Is his name in any of the comments?
Not Kayla's name comes up a bit too. Like, how could you? It's a lot of like, how could you do this to her? Why would you do this to her? So it's stuff like that's like very vague.
Right. I wonder if they put their names in blocked.
Yeah, it's awkward though, because like he's liking comments on the TikToks, and there's like some. It's like, yes, love you and your dog, and then it's like, how could you do this to her? It's like the juxtaposition between the two is like so off-putting.
Yeah, so he's like obviously aware of this.
Yes, he has to be made aware of it. Listen, I tried to do my due diligence. I did reach out to James for a statement. He was unable to provide one. Now, that is not an inherent. It's not an inherent admission of guilt by any means. It just means right now he's not able to provide one. Maybe he'll speak about it on his own platform, or
like legally something.
Yeah. Exactly. There could be stuff behind the scenes, so it doesn't inherently mean that he is guilty of anything. But I think it just speaks like the larger thing of, you know, it's just disappointing because James, despite everything, still has a humongous platform. It's a platform that's bigger than ours. It's a platform that like he gets tens of millions of views on like every TikTok that he does. He still is at a lot of premieres and red carpet events and award shows. He still does a lot of big high profile collaborations. He has a very successful beauty line. And I think when you have that kind of audience, like it really should be regarded very preciously, because it is such a privilege. You won the lottery when you're an influencer. Yes, there, to Michaela's point, as she, you know, there are hard parts about being an influencer. Yes, as she said. But at the end of the day, it is, you have won the lottery. It's a job that you get paid so much for, and you honestly don't have to work as hard as a lot of people do. But it does suck to see James, when he has such a young audience, not address this fully yet, because it is out there. If I'm hearing about it and I'm not even on TikTok like that, it is getting a lot of coverage.
In your comment section, I think that says so much. It's like, if your comments are asking you to talk about it, or like, what, you know, you have to address it, especially if it's a friend, you know, especially if it's something so serious too. Like, I think there's just at least some kind of denouncement of Evan. Some people are saying that like James had joked with Kayla when she told him about the breakup that like, oh, does that mean now I can have him? So it's hard. That's why it is also hard with James like kind of being silent. It's like there's so much out there. And I'm sure not everything is true, right? Because people are saying, oh, they are having like an intimate relationship, Evan and James. Oh. It's snowballing into something bigger. And it shouldn't be like a drama. It shouldn't be tea or anything. Like when I first heard about Kayla's situation with Evan, I'm like, okay, it's kind of cut and dry. She's coming out about this. This story ends there. He's terrible. Evan should just be like deplatformed. Yeah. That's that. Like, take it to trial to even like secure some kind of punishment, you know. But
with the James element, it is becoming like some kind of tea or drama, and it shouldn't be, so that's kind of disappointing as well.
Because her sister was also commenting about it, right? She was saying
there was a clip of us discussing about it last episode, and Kayla's sister commented that the allegations against James were true. I also reached out to Kayla for a statement on it to do my due diligence, because I'm like, there's so much to work through. Kayla did she said that we can say this part, so I'll read it. She says, I'm trying to tread lightly on the situation for the time being, because there are so many moving parts going on behind the scenes. And I do think once court is over, I will share more about the full story. But I will say the people speaking on behalf of me, Zach, my sister, and friends are not lying. So Kayla is saying that where this originated from, Zach Sellers on TikTok, that is true, and that what her sister's saying when commenting on the clip of Just Trish is also true. Everyone who has been speaking publicly has proof to these claims. There is so much more to the story, and it goes deep. So she says, I haven't spoken about anything yet. It's because I'm very focused on court right now. So...
Well, did you say the comment that the sister left on ours?
Yes.
You did say it.
Yes, and she said everything that my sister has said and Zach, the TikToker who made the claims about James, is true.
What was her sister's comment one more time? Because I don't know if I caught it.
It was us talking about it last episode, and it was kind of a generic breakdown of like what James's relationship with Evan was. And I think we were saying, like, is this true? Is like, was my chat just like kind of saying this stuff or whatever? Because it did sound so extreme. Yeah. And her sister commented, all of this is true, shrug emoji. So Kayla is confirming that what Zach has said and what her sister has said is true about James's relationship with Evan. But she does say that there is more to the story. So
yeah, these things are always so hard for me to comment, because it's just like you said, it's like not tea, it's like not drama, it's not cute. It's like...
That's the thing. It's Kayla's real life. Yeah. It's something that will live on with her for so many years. It's going to court. She'll have to relive this all over again. Like, it's so heavy. That's why it's like...
It detours your whole life. Like, she can't be a content creator anymore. Like, this is like the life that she has now and how people see her. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I mean... It's a beautiful thing to come out about your story, but then it's also tough because then you automatically become an advocate, and it's like it's not like she chose to be an advocate, but now she kind of has to be because this is her experience, and she knows that she can help other people.
And her brand was so different than this before. She was just like the silly party girl with piercings and just
Yes. And I really do feel for her, because everything that like the videos and the photos and everything she went through is like so extreme. And again, it's a pattern of behavior of 9 months, of dealing with this and fearing for your life is so heavy. And then also now to see this all kind of play out as kind of a weird love triangle situation is so odd. That's why it's like, I'm not a James Charles viewer or anything, but I always just want the best. I don't know. I want people, like, when I see someone still have such a humongous platform, the least I hope for is that for the huge audience that you have, that you are the best you and best example you can be. Not that you're perfect, obviously.
Address
but
it.
Yeah. And it's even like, he's older. Like, you're in your mid-20s now. You have to know if someone is an abuser.
All right, grab a snack and come on back. Let me fix this real quick. So, what do you think about that? I think that if you were to see it, you would be like, yeah, this is it. Like, you can kind of see the hesitation in it. And I just remember Trisha Paytas having like these white headphones, and she was like, why is it in every situation James Charles is the victim? You remember that?
How is it that James Charles is the victim in every single situation?
I didn't want to respond to this because I didn't want to give Trisha the attention that she's clearly craving. However, I've now been accused of being a child groomer, and this is not an accusation that I'm going to take lightly. To insinuate that the relationship between Charlie and I is anything other than just a friendship is absolutely disgusting. I don't need Charlie, and Charlie does not need me. I became friends with the D'Amelio family as a whole very, very early on because this was all very, very new to them, and I wanted to be a friend and a mentor in any way that I possibly could. And Charlie and I, despite not being the same age, had one thing in common, which was coming to the spotlight at a very, very young age. This is something that Trisha has never experienced because the only reason she is in the spotlight is because she has said racist things. She said the N-word, she's done blackface, she offended the trans community, she offended the DID community, she said Hitler wasn't that bad of a guy, voted for Trump, and has started a fight with about every single other creator on this platform. You are in no position to be talking about me and my career, so I highly recommend that you stop starting fights with people that are half your age, pack it up, and work on holding yourself and your best friends around you, because they and you...
Where's that energy? I missed that. Also, we got some PR from Paris Hilton. Yes, the queen. You guys know I am biased. I love Paris Hilton so much. Apparently, Paris Hilton has a brand new fragrance out exclusively at Ulta. It's called Iconic. So let me roll you the clip because I got it. I'm shot a tiki-taki. Here we go. Paris Hilton sent over her new fragrance. Let's talk about it. All right, this is it. I love Paris Hilton so much. She's my queen. Here we go. So it is called Iconic Paris Hilton. Let's unbox it. And there's even a note inside. Okay, this is it. Now, hold on. We have already a pink. Ooh, oh, with the bling bling. Thank you so much, Paris. And this is Paris's new fragrance available at Ulta right now. How do I know this? Before I talk to you about the notes and everything, I have a special, this is huge, look, a blinged out razor phone, and it says right here, one new message from Paris Hilton. You open it up, Iconic, there's a button, and Paris Hilton is on the phone. Here we go. Let me press the button, guys.
And I'm so excited to introduce my newest fragrance, Iconic. It's a gorgeous floral fruity scent, playful, sophisticated, and totally unforgettable. Now available exclusively at Ulta Beauty. You're gonna love it. XO Paris.
Ah! I was on the phone with Paris Hilton, but what did you do today? The queen, I love, you guys know, this is such a big deal for me. I hope Paris watches this. I hope you tag her in it. I just want to say, Paris, thank you so much. I love you. I respect you. It is not missed upon me. And thank you for giving people like me just a voice. Thank you so much. So here is the fragrance. It has a P in the front. And I didn't notice it until like you turn it around. There's an H in the back. PH, Paris Hilton. And right here it says Iconic Paris Hilton. And this is heavy. Baby, this ain't no plastic, baby. This is glass. This is clink, clink, clink. This is heavy. This looks like a rock. It's almost shaped like a rock, a faceted jewel. And then that has her initials on it. It's rose gold, very fingerprint magnet. And here we go. Lift it like that. I'm ready for this. Now, she said it was fresh, fruity. Let it sit for a second. This smells like money, bitch. This smells like honey. Hold on. Smells like richness. Getting off a jet in Dubai. No. Las Vegas, right? You walking out of the jet, you have your assistants pop open umbrellas for you because you can't let the sun touch your skin. Oh, I wish you guys can smell this. Head on over to Ulta. You can smell it for yourself. It just smells very rich and fruity and floral, and I really do like that. Okay, then I got some merch. She's always hooked it up, and they know me. They know me. They sent me that double XXXX, perfect for the buffet, honey. And the back, look what it says in the back. That's hot. And then a little branded Paris Hilton merch. Thank you so much. So I got that. This was so cool, and I think the best part of it was just like the message and hearing her voice. Let me do it again.
Hey, it's Paris Hilton, and I'm so excited to introduce my newest fragrance, Iconic. It's a gorgeous floral fruity scent, playful, sophisticated, and totally unforgettable. Now available exclusively at Ulta Beauty. You're gonna love it. XO Paris.
Okay, so you didn't hear this other part because it got really like, it kind of dimmed down, but she said, and guys, I love Rich Loves. He's my favorite gossip page. We love him over here, and please give him a follow and all that stuff like that. So thank you so much, Paris Hilton, for sending me this beautiful perfume or fragrance. I'll call it more like a fragrance. I don't want to call it perfume because I do feel like I would wear this, and I'm a man sometimes. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Thank you, Paris. Okay, isn't that cute, guys? Ooh, I just think that's like the best thing ever. Like I'm obsessed. It really does smell like it's just like fruity and fresh. But there's this new one. There's this new fragrance I want to smell. You know what? I'll probably buy it and I'll shoot a video for you guys here. Anyways, also I would say that the She Glam paw brush that I talked about recently, I do not like this brush. It's way too soft, and it's like this is an iconic brush. This is like a famous brush because of the price point and the little paw print of the kitty cat by She Glam. And then here's what it looks like. I don't like it because it's not dense enough, and I believe that this is marketed as a blush brush, but the blushes that I've tried, I don't really like how it looks and how it picks up. Let me pick some up here. I just don't like it. I guess I don't like it because of how soft it is, and I think I would prefer something a little bit more denser. And I think if this is more dense, I would really appreciate it. But it's too soft, and imagine me saying that, like a brush is too soft, and like we like soft brushes, but this one I just think it's, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a hater with this one or something, but I don't know, I didn't like it, you know. I got blush blindness now, but I don't know, what do you think about that? I don't know, maybe it's just me, I don't like it. Anyways, let me know what I can't even talk today. Let me know what you think about all this drama in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I just want to say, I wish Trisha Paytas and Oscar were just more firm, because watching that clip, I was like, oh, so bored. All right, bye guys.